folks, we come to the part 2 video of this exercise 11.3. We continue with our duty of getting the parameters that they have asked us. We have done the first 6 problems, now we are continuing with the remaining. Let's see how much we can do it over here. The remaining 3 problems are like this, and the problems after that, it is of a different nature. So here this is different from the earlier type, means earlier type was of the standard of the form in which we know the formula x by x squared by a squared plus y squared by b squared equal to 1. Now here it is, in these equations they are not of that form, you have to get it into that form and then solve, that's it. So one thing is very clear, that for an ellipse you have to have your right hand side as 1. Okay, so if there is any other number coming, you divide throughout by that number and get the right hand side as 1, and that way you will be able to get the equation in standard form. So let's divide this equation on both sides by 144. 144 on this side also, 144 on this side also. So what will happen? You will get 36 by 144 times x squared, 4 by 144 times y squared, and here you will get 1. So at least this much has become standard now. 36 and 144, these are very favorite numbers, and you should know all its factors so that you don't waste much time in solving it. 36 9 times is 144, and 4 how many times? 36 9 times. I'll just reassure, 9 6 are 54, 9 3s are, no, not 9 times, 36 and 144. Yeah, so I may have to check. 36 how many times is 144? 36 4s are 6 4s are 24, 2 4 3s are 12, yeah, 13 14, yeah, 4 times, yeah, 36 4 times is 144, and 4 obviously 4 36 times, that just goes that way. So x squared by 4 plus y squared by 36 equal to 1. What happens in that process is this comes of the type 2. Have you carefully noticed, because under y is the bigger value, so therefore it's of type 2. So what will happen? You will get your a squared value as 36, you will get your b squared value as 4. Both these you have got. That makes you your a value as 6 and b value as 2. In order to get the c squared value, which is a squared minus b squared, it is 36 minus 4, which is 32. In order to get the c, it is going to be root 32. So your focus, because it's on the other side, is 0 plus or minus root 32, and then your vertex is going to be 0 plus or minus 6, twice a, which is 12, and twice a, which is 4, and eccentricity, which is c by a, is root 32 by a. For us it's 6. Root 32 is 16 into 2, so you can have it solved like that. And 2b squared by a, so 2b squared, which is 4 by a, for us it's 6, so 3s are 4 by 3. You know, more or less that is how the solving is going to go like. Yeah. Okay, so once we are done with that, we are taking up the next problem. That also you have to do the same thing, divide by 16 on both sides. So you have 16 by 16 x squared plus y squared by 16 and 1 over here. So this will become just 1. A squared is 1. So no, you have to decide which is a squared. Yeah, so here you are getting x squared by 1 and you are getting y squared by 16 equal to 1. Again, it's of type 2, right? So you will get a squared as 16 and you will get b squared as 1, where a becomes 4 and b becomes 1. So like that you will get the c squared value. C squared value will come to 15. 16 minus 1, 15. C value becomes root 15. So your focus is, because it's of type 2, will be 0 plus or minus root 15. And the vertex is going to be 0 plus or minus 1. Then length of lattice rectum, length of the major axis twice a, which is 8, and this is 2, because 2 into 1. And then eccentricity is c by a, which is root 15 by 4, and length of the lattice rectum is 2b squared by a, so that is 2 into 1, and a for us it's 4, so it's like 2, so it's half. That's about this. . Yeah, that's how this works. Then we are coming to the next one. 4x squared plus 9y squared equal to 36. Divide by 36 as usual. 4x squared plus 9y squared, we are dividing by 36. Like that you are getting 4 by 36 into x squared and 9 by 36 into y squared equal to 1. And this will be x squared by 9 when you cut it. And then this will be y squared by 4 equal to 1. So type 1, because under x is the bigger value. So here you have a squared as 9 and b squared as 4. A becomes 3, b becomes 2. And then you have your c squared value as a squared minus b squared, 9 minus 4, which is 5, and c becomes root of 5. Like that you get, because it's of type 1, your focus is plus or minus root 5 0, and then your vertex is plus or minus 3 0. You have your major axis as 6, you have your minor axis as 4, and then you have the eccentricity as c by a, so root 5 by 3, and you have your length of the lattice rectum as 2b squared, that means 2 into 4 by 2b squared by a, so 3, so it's a 8 by 3, that's the length. So this is by and large the problems where they have given us a thing and they have asked us to get to the equations that they ask us. Now we quickly take the problem number 10. Problem number 10 says that there is a vertex and they give us the vertex and they give us the foci. They are asking us to find the equation, just the opposite of what we have done till now. Till now we were given the equations and we were finding what they have told us. Now they are giving us certain things and we are going to find the equation of the ellipse. So let's check. The 10th question says that the vertex is they say is plus or minus 5 0, and then they say that the foci is plus or minus 4 0. First of all, we have to decide what kind of ellipse it is. So it is an ellipse of type 1, that's clear. Why? Because you look at the coordinate, it's clear whether it's of type 1 or type 2. By looking at the coordinates of the vertex and the foci, it's clear whether it's of type 1 or type 2. So you know the equation. Then we generalize. So the required ellipse is x squared by a squared plus y squared by b squared equal to 1. And here, because vertex is this, a is 5, and because foci is this, c is 4. So a squared becomes 25 and c squared becomes 16. Since c squared is a squared minus b squared, so we can get across with b squared, it's actually a squared minus c squared. So every time we can use this directly, that b squared is a squared minus c squared. A squared for us it's 25 and c squared it's 16, like that it comes to 9, b comes to b. We don't want b because we want the equation, therefore the required equation. Therefore the required equation is x squared by 25 plus y squared by 9 equal to 1. X squared by 25 plus y squared by 9 equal to 1. The 11th problem tells that they give us a vertex as 0 plus or minus 13 and they tell us that the foci is 0 plus or minus 5. I'll quickly write the next one also. Vertex is plus or minus 6 0 and the foci is plus or minus 4 0, so that we can work first. Okay, now in this case again first let's predict the equation and then substitute the credentials that they have given us and then let's get the answer. Now this is of type 1 or type 2, very clear type 2. How? From the coordinates. We look at the coordinates and from there we predict. So the required equation is x squared by b squared plus y squared by a squared equal to 1. And what happens here? Here a is 13 because vertex is given and c is 5. but we are more interested in the squares. So a squared is 169, c squared is 25. In order to get the equation, you need to know b squared. So it's a squared minus c squared. That way it is 169 minus 25, it's 144. Therefore, the required equation is x squared by b squared for us 144 plus y squared by a squared for us 169 equal to 1. That is our problem number 11. Yeah, that's it. Trace which is the equation, substitute, get the answer. That's it. Does this help us to predict what type of ellipse it is? Yes, it's of type 1. Why? Because you have that comma 0 type 1. 0 comma means something comma 0 type 1. So 0 comma something type 2. That's how it is. So the required equation here, the required equation is what's that? X squared by a squared plus y squared by b squared equal to 1. That's a required equation. And here, what all things are happening? You are having vertex as 6 and foci is 4. C is 4. So a squared is 36 and c squared is 16. So what you will get, therefore b squared is a squared minus c squared. That means it is 36 minus 16, which is 20. Okay, you've got everything. Therefore, the required equation is x squared by a squared, for us it is 36, and y squared by 20 equal to 1. Yes, the remaining questions are also of the same type, but we are taking it up in the next video. Thank you.